doing my homework.
Hello, kids at home. Getting ready to start Mindset Monday. I'm going to pull up this feed and attempt to send it over to EI. Hello, if you're here, comment. Let me know who I'm talking to. Monique, Kiera. Ooh, there's a whole bunch of people here. Who else? Hello, Khalud. How the hell are you? I'm just sending this over into EI so everybody else can get a piece of it too. Hey, Emma. Okay, so, hi, Diane. How are you? So I had planned today to talk about the characteristics of people who achieve their goals. Hi, Julie. So good to see everybody. I'm really looking forward to these Mondays now. Bethany's here. I'll give you guys a few minutes. Hello. Nice to see your face. What's going on? Hi, Catherine. We were going to talk about the characteristics of people who achieve their goals, but I think I'm going to actually go a layer deeper than that today because I had some interesting client calls that revealed to me exactly where people were missing the mindset boat, so to speak. Hey, Becca. Adriana, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. Autumn, hello. This is good stuff, guys. Kristen's here. Awesome. Okay, well, I'm going to dive in, and then we'll just see who hops on after. So, like I said, we were going to talk about characteristics of people, hi, Heather, who achieve their goals. And then I had a couple of client calls today, which made it abundantly clear to me that even though I talk about this mindset stuff all the time, there were some key pieces, some foundational pieces that people had a surface understanding of, but needed to go a little bit deeper so that they could implement this stuff during their day and actually see change. So I'm going to go there today instead. And some of it, I'm sure you've heard me talk about before because I feel like it's all I talk about, but evidently it bears repeating because these were one-on-one clients that I was speaking to today that were still walking a tightrope with these concepts. So I think it's important to nail it down. Hey, Amanda, how are you? There's a super loud background noise on my live stream right now. Can somebody tell me what that might sound like? Because I'm sitting in my kitchen, and Bruce is washing his hands. The water's running, but that's about it. What else do you hear? Besides the cat that I just yelled at. Like a vacuum. I wonder if it's the fan over the stove. Hey, honey, can you turn that off? Let's see if it's that. Bethany, tell me if that's better. Like a vacuum cleaner or a loud fan? Hi, Livy. We're trying to identify the background noise on Facebook Live right now. Autumn says it's a waterfall. Sounds staticky. Sounds like loud water. I don't have any of those things going on in my house right now. No, I don't use a headset, Amanda. Yeah, it's live, Livy. It's live. Tell me if you guys still hear it. I just closed my laptop. Is that better? Because maybe it was just the fan in my laptop. It stopped. Okay. Fan in my laptop. Good. All right. Better now. Okay, cool. Now I completely lost my freaking train of thought. So thanks, guys. Let's start over. Amanda says it's gone now. All right. So we were talking about, instead of skimming the surface with this mindset stuff, we're actually going to go a layer deeper. There are basic concepts. Oh, good. I'm glad you guys got it. There are basic concepts that you need to understand in order to process this information daily. And if you're not processing it daily, then you're really not doing anything to change your life when it comes to mindset. Sometimes it's way beyond daily. Sometimes it's an hourly decision. Sometimes it's a moment-to-moment decision. The women in Boston really identified with that concept when I talked about that. So here's the deal. Whatever it is that you're thinking, you choose your thoughts. It's the only thing you can control. Produces a feeling. And the feeling incites an action or an inaction, depending on what kind of feeling you might be having. Hey, you can turn that fan back on if you want, babe. It was my laptop that was bothering them. Bruce is making dinner. I'm in the kitchen. So, hi Anna, hi Christy. So you have a thought or a series of thoughts that produce a feeling. You choose if you want to have good thoughts or bad thoughts, which produce good feelings or bad feelings. If you're producing good feelings, chances are excellent you're going to take some action on your own behalf, something that inspires or motivates you. Hi, Michelle. If you are thinking things about, well, that aren't so great, that you suck, or all these things that you screwed up, or anything else that may have happened during your day that made you feel like shit, then you're going to continue to feel like crap, which is not going to incite, inspire, or motivate you to take action on your own behalf. So that's the basic core of it, right? It's the thing I feel like I talk about with you guys every single week. But, like I said, when I got on the phone with my clients today, 2 of my one-on-one clients, there were still some wobbles around that. So when you're thinking about characteristics of people who achieve their goals, well, first, they understand that process that I just laid out. But secondly, and more importantly, they have developed an awareness of what they're thinking. Because thoughts are the foundation of everything, right? You can't control anything else around you. Life happens. People have their own opinions. People do things you may or may not like. Just shit occurs, and you have no control over that. So the one thing that you can control is what you think. And when you figure that out, how to actually work with your thoughts and work with your brain instead of letting your brain work against you, then you change how you feel, and that sets the path on how you choose to act. So, characteristics of people who always achieve goals: they have, if not mastered, are very close to mastering their thoughts. Meaning, I always get this image of a baby duck in my head when I have this conversation. People can throw insults. People can think bad things, say bad things, do bad things. They can purposely go out to try and destroy you effectively. But if you're a baby duck, it's just water rolling off your back. Because the people that have a success mindset understand that they can't control what other people think. And they don't waste their time trying to convert haters. They just let them be and carry on their merry way. You don't have to care what other people think of you, right? And this is a really tough concept. We as a human species, we want to be liked. We want to fit in. And when you are working in an online environment like this, not everybody's going to like you, and it becomes glaringly obvious, right? Because you put yourself in front of millions of people every day. Chances are great you're going to piss somebody off, or they're just not going to like what you're wearing. I mean, I smoke and wear my bathrobe on my live stream because I don't care, but you get the point. And if you are constantly bothered by that and stop yourself every few minutes, you're consistently losing momentum. You're starting to think that maybe you're not cut out for this business, or that people aren't going to like you and you should just give up. Therefore, you stop taking action, right? Everything is controlled by thought. Christy says, so true, Becca, observing ego. Baby ducks, Michelle, baby ducks. Anna says, yay. I just spoke with somebody about this today. It's such an important concept. And I think that it's really easy to consciously and intellectually understand it, but to put it into practice is a whole different ballgame. And the reason that happens, I talk about this all the time too. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but it bears repeating, so stick with me. The conscious part of your brain, the frontal lobe, is the part that sets goals with you and makes decisions about what you want to have and, choice. But that's not the part of your brain that controls your behaviors and actions. That's your subconscious. And most of your life, as you go through your day, is on autopilot. And think about it. You get up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you put on the coffee maker, you do things without even thinking about it. It's just subconscious. And as you are making the coffee and getting out of bed and brushing your teeth, you're having thoughts that you're not aware of because, again, we are on autopilot. And as long as you are consistently unaware of the thoughts that you are thinking, you are not controlling the foundational piece of your life. And so, one of the biggest obstacles for people when they begin working with me, or any other mindset coach for that matter, is building an awareness. How do I feel right now? Well, if it's bad, then I probably want to evaluate what I was just thinking. And then I probably want to work really hard to reframe those thoughts so that it doesn't keep happening. If you are on a path or a trajectory to reach a certain goal, your conscious mind has decided you want something, but you keep sabotaging it, it's because your conscious is not aware of what your subconscious is doing. And I see this all the time. All the time. You know, I want to make $1 million this year. I want to open up my schedule and have some free time. I really miss my kids and my family. I'm working too hard. I want to do this. I want to do that. And then in the next breath, you find out that they said yes to 5 new clients that they didn't need, or undercharged for the last 10, because it feeds some other paradigm or way of thinking that their subconscious created, you know, like 20 years ago. Anna, you still hear that noise, huh? I don't know what that is. Emma says habitual thinking. Yes. Giovanna, I'm working on that. Sometimes it's hard to put into practice. It's always different. It doesn't have to be hard, and if you call it hard, it will continue to be hard. But it can be easy if you approach it as a game, right? I think that particularly women, I can't speak for men, I think particularly women tend to be extraordinarily hard on themselves. We generally are programmed to criticize not just others but ourselves rather severely. And when we have feelings, it's no different. We tend to be very judgmental. We also tend to be very hard on ourselves if we do something that we feel isn't quote-unquote right or isn't in alignment. And so when you're building an awareness, I think one of the worst things that you can do is, oh my God, I'm such an idiot. Why did I do that to myself? Feel feelings, don't judge feelings. It's a whole different way of being. Okay, let me get back to Hey, Emma, how are you? Okay, Michelle says, this is why I love being around you. Oh, thank you. You continue to remind me that I need to get out of my own way. Yeah, we all do. We all do. Brandy says, feel like quitting today. Totally feels like shit isn't going the way I want it to. So yeah, I get it. That's really cool, Brandy, and that's really good self-awareness. So I think what I would probably do is make a list of all of the reasons why you feel like quitting, why it's all over, and then I would go back to each one and write down beside it 3 reasons why that's total bullshit that your brain created to keep you strong. That's actually a fun exercise, and it's available for free if you opt into my website. It's one of the things that I give away. Giovanna says I'm working on that. Sometimes it's hard. Okay. Am I caught up here? Oh, Timmy Craven's here. Hi, honey. Michelle, I'm so aware now. Thank you. Well, no, you did the work, Michelle. You did great. Libby says, wow. Kelly's here. Hi, Vanessa, Danielle. Emma says, are you holding your hand over the speaker? Not that I'm aware of. Catherine, the sound is really muffled. Can't hear me. Can't hear me. Can't hear me. Can you hear me now? I don't know what is going on with this phone. Okay, well, you know what I'm going to do? Oh, wait, now it's better, Monique says. Somebody tell me if you can hear or not. Clear? Better, okay. Yeah, okay, so what we're discovering, whatever I did worked. I didn't do anything. Bruce just shut the fan off over the stove. He's making dinner. Wait, ready? Let's see. Hobbs is making dinner. Okay. Loud and clear? All set? Okay, good. Move my hand. We shut the we shut the fan off over the stove. I usually have it on and it's no big deal. This is what happens when you live stream in your kitchen in your pajamas. Okay. Much clearer? Awesome. Thank you for giving me a heads up. All right, so if you're feeling like crap, step number 1 is to figure out what it was you were thinking that led up to that feeling. Autumn says, I can hear you now, but for the past 5 minutes. Oh, I'm assuming that we're all squared away now. Anna says, your energetic energy's interfering with the live stream, Bruce. Catherine says, that's what I call a knife. Yeah, he's making me homemade French fries. He's good like that. Okay, so you feel like shit. What were you thinking? What thoughts were you producing in your brain to contribute the feeling of whatever it was? And the same thing goes with feeling good, you know, because you want to be able to replicate that. If you are unmotivated, uninspired, for whatever reason, always go to your thoughts, first and foremost, and examine them. And the exercise that I just laid out a second ago, where you give yourself, you know, do a brain dump. The mistake people make is they sort of suppress their feelings, or like I was saying earlier, they let them out and then they judge them. Oh, that's so stupid. I shouldn't think that. Well, it may or may not be stupid, but that's kind of a moot point because you are feeling that way or you did have that thought. And what's most important in that moment is to acknowledge it and examine it, because feelings just want to be felt, right? And as long as you're refusing to acknowledge or examine, you're stuffing them down and they fester like a fucking infection. They just get bigger and bigger and bigger. And the longer that you choose not to deal with them, the scarier it becomes to actually address that. And I know for a fact that people struggle with this the most. I mean, I certainly do, and the people that come to my retreats absolutely do. But they truly are just feelings. And, you know, in 60 seconds, 90 seconds, you get it out of your system and you're 100 pounds lighter and you can take on the world. Danielle says, truth, until you confront them, you'll be haunted. Yeah. Yeah, and in the moment when you have the feeling, it's almost like, I just can't deal with that, it's going to consume me. Not true. A fear, also a fear, controlled by the subconscious, and it always held you back. Yeah, and it's a waste of time. Okay, so the entire point of this was foundational skills. Hey, Mariana. You're in charge of what you think, which produces how you feel, which incites action, positive or negative. If you don't like where you're going, if you don't think you're getting closer to your goals, examine your thoughts, feel better, inspire your own damn self, blow your own fucking mind, choose to take action on your own behalf, right? Nobody is going to do it for you. And the really cool part is, since you have total autonomy here, once you finally succeed, you can pat yourself on your own damn back and say, I fucking did it. It was all me, right? Because it is. Giovanna says, what do you do to not care about what people think about you? Fear of being judged. Okay, really big, common question. I actually did an entire program on that. It was called Fuck the Haters, which if you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend it. Go to RebeccaTDickson.com/products and you'll see it listed on that page. But usually when you are suppressing yourself, I'm choosing my words carefully, when you're shrinking, when you are hiding, when you are not showing up for fear of what other people might think, it usually has nothing to do with what is going on right now. Meaning, let's assume that you're a business owner since you're on this live stream and you know you need to show up on social media, but you're not because you're afraid of what people might think. I guarantee you it's actually not about what people might think of you right now. It's probably about a fear that you had when you were a kid, or if you were bullied, or something that happened at a job when you were in college, or something else. 9 times out of 10, it's shit we haven't dealt with from 10 or 20 years ago that threatens to come up. And since we didn't deal with it back then, it still sits in the forefront of our mind. And I can say that with authority because I was bullied, and it sucked. And it kept me hidden for a really long time. It kept me from being who I was. I was always afraid people wouldn't like me. I was always waiting to be, you know, quote unquote criticized or attacked, until I finally dealt with it and got over it. But I would definitely go check that out. Oh, Kelly just posted the link. Thank you, Kelly. I appreciate that. That's what happened to you last week, Becca. Yeah, if you don't deal with that stuff, it just keeps coming back. Michelle says, release the negative. You have to. You've got to release it. Jacqueline says, can relate to the bullying. I think everybody can relate to the bullying. I really think that at this stage, yes, we can all relate to it. However, this goes back to taking responsibility. You can't control what other people think, say, or do. What can you control? The thoughts that you put in your own damn head. And that is what controls your feelings, which inspires your actions. So, excuse me, if you want to be the person that achieves those big goals and goes for big things, then you have to examine how you're thinking, how you may or may not be allowing fear to stop you or prevent you from taking action. And we do this in really interesting and pervasive ways. How you do one thing is how you do everything. Instead of saying we're afraid, we'll say, oh, I'm lazy. Well, you know what? You're not. And under no circumstance could anybody in your life call you lazy when they look at everything that you've accomplished. You just are afraid of doing that, and it's easier for you to call yourself lazy than to admit the fear. That's a really common one, particularly with high-achieving women. Catherine says, same here, childhood bullying affected me for so long. Livy says, me too. Anna took the words right out of my mouth. I was bullied as a kid, wounded me more than I ever realized. All of us, sure. Livy, is that deflecting? Yeah, it could be called deflecting. I try not to use the jargon, really. I don't really care what it's called. All I know is it has a profound impact, and if people don't address the feeling and feel however it is they need to feel, they'll carry it with them forever. And it will continue to shape and impact your actions for the rest of your life, which usually means impeding your goals. You're not going to be able to get what you want. And isn't that just stupid? We're carrying around crap from when we were 10 years old. Just let it go. Becca says, I used to call myself lazy all the time. Yeah, it's much easier for high achieving women to say, well, we're just lazy, or we don't feel like it, or we have more important things to do, like, you know, binge watching Netflix. But the truth is, we're just scared. It's so funny. Danielle says, me too. Monique says, yep, I've tried to use the lazy excuse. You call me out every time. We all do. We all do, right? I'm trying to think of another one that I see quite often. I forgot. That's a big one. We know you didn't forget. We know that it's been on the forefront of your mind every second of every day because it's an emotional hot button, but you're going to lie and say that you forgot rather than admit you're afraid. Jacqueline says she reframed lazy to uninspired. Yep, same thing. Kara says busy. Yep. Yep. Emma, I used to always say I can't be bothered. Oh, these are so good, guys. These are so good. Anna says, so true. We package the effects of bullying into things like I'm lazy, I can't, I don't know how, genius. Yeah, we do. And it's just fear. And the really sad part is there's nothing wrong with being afraid. It's a normal human emotion that you'll never escape. I mean, I don't care if you were like a skydiver or a stunt double. It's not that those people don't have fear. It's just that they've learned how to mitigate fear. They've learned to admit it, address it, and then they develop coping mechanisms to move on. But if you're at the stage where you can't even admit to yourself that you're afraid of whatever it is, then how will you ever let go and do work on it, right? Because you're not lazy, and it's not that you don't feel like it. And you definitely didn't forget. We all know that that's bullshit. You're terrified. And rather than admitting you're terrified and doing something about it, you just commit to the excuse. And that sucks, because it doesn't get you closer to the things that you say you want. Can't be bothered. Yeah. Okay. Have we come full circle on this? I mean, really. Becca says bravery is being afraid and doing it anyway. Yeah, courage comes from risk, right? Livy says, then they become addicted to overcoming the fear. That's actually really true, because you get a little dopamine hit. And it's almost like you're a lab rat in the box. More, more, more. What else can I do? Kick fear in the teeth. Michelle says, is it weird that I like figuring out what the real fear is that I'm feeling? No, Michelle, that's actually a sign that you're on a profound path of massive growth. And I'm going to pat myself on the back and say that that comes partly from Boston. Because you did a lot of work there. A lot of work there. Catherine says, I know I'm afraid. I just need to get past that. Yeah, and I think a lot of us know we're afraid and we know we have to get past it, but sometimes it's really hard to do that without help. We don't know what to do first, and then we'll have all of these crazy thoughts and we'll scare ourselves. Like, I'm really fond of saying stop scaring yourself. It's just stupid. This goes back to what thoughts are you having, because they impact how you feel, and your feelings impact your action. Are you scared or are you excited? It's the same chemicals. You get to choose, right? Michelle says, yes, Livy. Okay, cool. All right, so I'll give you a little mini assignment in addition to the one I just threw out. The next time that you're feeling like crap, Becca says it's really hard, fear paralyzes me. All right, so first things first, Becca. Let's eliminate it's really hard from your vocabulary. And let's also eliminate fear paralyzes me. Why don't we say instead, it used to be hard, but I'm working on it now. It used to paralyze me, but I'm learning coping mechanisms to get past it. You guys really have to pay attention to your language. I don't know how aware you are of your ability to speak to manifest, but watch what you're saying to yourself. It matters. It makes a really big difference. Okay, so if you're feeling like crap, if you're feeling afraid, if you're feeling uninspired, if you're feeling quote-unquote lazy, whatever it is you think you might be feeling, notice it, and then think about the thoughts that you were having that led up to that moment and write them down. Were you obsessing about the things that you didn't get done? Were you beating on yourself for not achieving a particular goal? Were you feeling guilty for not spending enough time with your kids or your spouse? Were you stressed about something that was coming up at work the next day or something that you needed to get done for business? I guarantee you, if you examine what you were thinking, you're going to see exactly why you were feeling the way you were feeling. And this is how you begin to build an awareness of your thoughts. Michelle says, love the words you use, Becky. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. You're welcome, Becca. Jacqueline says, but do the words matter or the vibe we put behind the words? Both matter. Absolutely both matter. And if you're more aware of what you're saying, you can be far more aware of the vibe you're carrying. I think words matter just as much as the vibe. It's really hard to be pissed off about something and say something that excites you. I mean, the two vibes can't coexist. It's one or the other. It's got to be congruent, right? So if you're having a thought that makes you feel like shit, or you're using language that makes you feel like crap, it makes sense that, you know, the vibe's going to match that. Anna says, what I love most about Becky is I saw you first as someone who's totally cocksure, and what I've realized is how vulnerable you are. You're an awesome example of how to overcome the bullshit you hear and tell yourself. Love you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, far from cocksure. I think a better way of explaining that might be comfortable in my own skin, aware of my limitations, hyper aware of how I'm in charge of my own thoughts, feelings, and reality, 100% responsibility. And I think I've also figured out that it's totally okay to not be okay, and that people want to know that that's normal, that there isn't something inherently wrong with them if they're afraid or anxious or not sure what to do. And I'm in a great position to show you that that's totally all right, right? Okay, Becca says, your brain hears what you say out loud. Yes, it does. Lily's here. Jacqueline, thanks for clarifying. You're welcome. Hey, Lisa. All makes sense? Okay, good. All right, so you've got your mini assignments. Those of you who are hopping on late, you'll have to catch the replay. This wasn't a very long one anyway. And I hope that that's helpful. This stuff really is the basic, the cornerstone, and a little bit of the foundation of building a life that you want to have, achieving the goals that you want to have. You know, whether that's around money or relationships or a career or a business or kids or, you know, the kind of house you have or even the car you drive. It begins in your fucking head. It's in your head, it's in your head, it's in your head. If you can understand and believe that, you can start to make real change. That's it. That's the bottom line. Anna says, absolutely, utmost respect for you and how we overcome our barriers. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that very much. Okay. That's all for Mindset Monday. If you guys want to do more of this, if you want to do it in depth and hardcore, like the women in Boston just did, then you should probably be at my virtual retreat. I only have 3 slots left. I'm only taking 6 women. It's going to be the 26th and 27th. It's a day and a half of pretty intense work. And it's very customized and personalized and very much about who you think you need to become to have the things that you want, which I guarantee you isn't true. And then we're going to examine who you are and how you can have those things now. There are a million cliches and quotes out there about success being found in your daily routine. That is the essence of what I teach. It's just that people don't have this awareness. Becca says it's going to be the bomb. I can't wait. It is going to be awesome, Becca. I'm really, really excited. This has become far and away my most favorite work to do because the transformation is instantaneous and long-lasting. It's really, really good stuff. Lisa says, do it. You won't be the same person. It is unavoidable. Yeah, you can't leave the same way that you came in. Anna says, I'm away on holiday. Boo. Oh, bummer. Well, you're missing out. For the rest of you who are interested, there are 3 slots left. Just send me a message here, or you can email me at becky@rebeccatdickson.com, and we're going to blow shit up, pretty much. So that's what I do. All right? Talk to you soon. Bye. Mwah.